We are MacIntyre Gazette, and this is our story. Hello, my name's Lester Dawson, editor and owner of the MacIntyre Gazette in Texas, Queensland. We commenced operation in April 1995 from a farm office in Inglewood, not far off the MacIntyre Brook, where at the time I was farming on the family farm. So the MacIntyre Gazette was born out of the fact that we didn't have a communication method in the area other than from the major centres like Warwick and Stanthorpe and Goondiwindi. And we were in the middle of all that, and it sort of worked out that we needed a voice in the area. So after a few community meetings, I took the plunge and decided to start a local newspaper. 29 years later, we're still going, working with Amiga computers and HP laser printers. And these type of copier machines that we utilise, the finishing capacity, they are fold and staple. They're just pretty user-friendly, generally speaking. You just print your each week's paper to the store within the machines, and then you push a few buttons and away you go and you're printing. And it's keeping it fairly simple, and that's sort of like how we like to operate if we can. But on the other side of it, they do give you the option to value add as well. Like, we do other jobs for people as well. We do scorecards for a few of the clubs around, the sporting clubs. We do some business cards and posters, and we'll pretty much have a go at a lot of things if people need a certain thing, because otherwise they'd have to outsource them and wait for them, whereas they can come here and get them done fairly quickly. So, well, basically we print over 1,630, we print every week. Every time someone comes through the door, they might have some other challenge, but we'll try and accommodate them where we can. We had the bushfires around Bonshaw, took out a number of power poles and basically isolated us as a community, and everybody's fridges and everything can last for so long, but FPOS machines go down and you can't take a payment. Yeah, it's just all those little things you take for granted with power. There's an issue around the last paper mill in Australia closing down, and then basically the supply we used to get, it wasn't available anymore. But the fact that we had a supply in Australia that was fine, and then suddenly we don't have a supply in Australia and we have to get all our paper in from overseas, and that's where it's still coming from to this day. So it would be nice to be able to use more Australian product. That would make you feel better about life. The name MacIntyre Gazette, a lot of thought went into it, and was designed with the idea that if the growth was ever able to be realised, you know, you've got Goondiwindi, you can go to Inverell for that matter, you've got the MacIntyre system that you could actually grow into. So there is potential still there. So we weren't looking at short term, we were looking at potential long term. Things change and your business changes, and you know, we've got more bricks and mortar now than what we had to start with, and you sort of just change the way that you go about your business. With the competition around social media and all these sorts of things, you know, people just go about that and sort of don't think too much about the newspapers as far as their relevance, but we believe we've still got a good product. Yeah, definitely enjoy being able to get on the phone, and if you want to, you can talk to pretty much anybody in the community. You have access in all areas. You can actually communicate to anybody if you need to, and that's something that's a bit special. So it's a bit of a privilege to have that opportunity. I've got to say something that's very important in all this is without family support, you couldn't do this stuff. Like, we wouldn't be here. I'd be in trouble if I didn't mention Heidi. She's been a real rock as far as like keeping things going, and voice of reason in the background. She tends to keep me grounded and keep me on track, and can't say enough about her contributions. You have to appreciate the support of people around you, just people in general. You can't run something like this without that. It just doesn't work. You know, the model for the MacIntyre Gazette has always been, if we don't post, we don't exist, pretty much, because we believe the town and the country all deserve to have the same level of communication so that everybody's on the same page. So that's a fair bit of philosophy in that.